Hey, what's going on? We're at Monte Albán, which is about 30 minutes outside of Oaxaca. This is one of the bigger mountains you can see from the middle of the city. And there's incredible geography, there's incredible history. From a geographical context, Oaxaca has been classically isolated from the rest of Mexico because of, this huge mountain range that kind of encircles the region. And from Monte Albán, you can actually see that mountain range all the way around. There's a river nearby which enabled agriculture here. The mountains, so these aren't super high mountains, but they were large enough that they can overlook all the surrounding land. So there's lots of valleys, and the valleys were very fertile. And so this basically sprouted a farming community as early as like 400, 300 BC. And then they're known as Zapotecas. So the Zapotecas were the original inhabitants of Oaxaca starting in 300 BC. And then, later on, hundreds of years later, around the 1500s, that's when the Aztecs conquered them. And then the Aztecs, of course, we know, were conquered by the Spanish. So it was like series of conquerings, but Monte Albán stayed intact. It was really hard to walk and talk. We've been walking for a couple hours now. And so because of our diminishing physical capabilities post 30, I'm actually kind of winded from the walk. And it's really hot out. So I decided I'd find some shade and kind of keep going. This whole archaeological complex is over 2,000 years old. So starting in 300, 400 BC, all the way till 800 AD, this was an active complex. And it's kind of sad when things go from being active complexes to being ruins of complexes. And I used to think that the whole point of these places is to preserve them. So having parts of the building that you just don't touch and you let erode over time. But the more I think about it, there is something beautiful about restoring these areas and keeping them alive. This area is clearly dead. I mean, there's literal crypts. There's all the religious structures have no roofs anymore. There are palace structures where it's just the walls and foundation. So it's clearly a dead place. And there's not enough things in this world that we've tried to keep alive. Monte Albán is a beautiful place that captures human-created beauty juxtaposed on landscape and environmental beauty. A lot of plants and a lot of the fauna is preserved here from 2,000 years ago. A lot of plant remains are in some of the buildings here because it was a seat of learning. So a lot of the medicinal herbs and things like that were kept in some of these buildings. They were into astronomy. A lot of civilizations were built on the backbones of astronomy because astronomy drove advances in farming. And farming was everything, right? You got good at farming, you got good at civilization, as Age of Empires can teach you. Yeah, this place was awesome. I highly recommend it. I will definitely be learning more about the area And it gives me a lot of appreciation for the civilization, the seats of civilization back then. If you know of places all over the world, but I am interested in India, if you know of places that meld geographic beauty with historical context, I would love to hear about them. I just find this place to be incredible. All right, see you in the next one. We gotta go. Can I meet you down there?
She wants. Okay, fine.
Oh, it's me?
She wants to come to you.
You doofus?